And here we are back with another day of great international Clash Royale competitive action. Big names: Spain, the Netherlands, Germany. This is No Tilt GG. So taking a look at the schedule of matches today, opening things up, Turkey and Italy. Italy with that big win that really put them high up in Group D, taking out the UK, and then Spain looks to bounce back against Greece. Germany against Finland, and rounding things out, the Netherlands against a Portuguese squad looking to remain relevant in Group E as we get closer to those knockout rounds. But today, kicking things off, Turkey, which lost a close one to the Serbians against an Italian squad that shocked everyone with a big-time win over the United Kingdom, and a lot of that was to that man Ace coming out with a beautiful 4-1 display, taking out Buffmac, and then moving along to the 2-1 run in his King of the Hill set. Finishing things off, of course, was Mostema, who closed out that King of the Hill and gave Italy the big-time win. A win today would most likely secure the Italians' run along into the next round. As you can see right now, even though the UK is 2 matches played, they are still in second place because of that loss to the Italians. So currently Italy in control of their own fate. A win here is a big one. A win here most likely secures them the group, as they have tiebreaker over the UK and Serbia, and then would put Turkey down at 1-2. So a big match today for Italy. Of course, a big one for Turkey as well. Want to stay relevant in the group. Beating Italy would create a 4-way tie on the scorecards. Of course, tiebreakers then would come into effect at the end of this overall group stage. Today's rosters active for Turkey: Yunus, Aslan, FMGG, and Omer stepping in place of Eternity today on the Turkish squad. Most likely going to see Yunus and Aslan as the 2v2 duo. On the Italian side, same 4 as they had last time: Mostema, Pasti, Ace, and Mattia. And it was Mostema and Pasti as the 2v2 duo last time, and Ace, of course, as the head-to-head star. Out with a fantastic performance. We'll see if they can replicate that same success here against the Turkish side. Hi, I'm Rich Slayton from Clash Royale League, joining you for quite a lot of this No Tilt Worlds overall group stage, and I'll be back, of course, for some of the knockout rounds as well. Switching off mostly with my friend Andrew Guy, full frontage in here on the occasion as well. And so far, this tournament, as you know, has been crazy. If you're here right now, you've probably been watching a lot of the No Tilt Worlds, and we've seen a lot of teams stumble early that weren't expected to. And the second match of the day is going to be that big one. Spain trying to bounce back and get in the winner's column after a frustrating defeat that was very disappointing for that Spanish side and for the entire Spanish fan base. But that's match 2. Match number 1, Turkey versus Italy. Turkey does have a solid lineup. The game very popular in the country of Turkey. FMGG, the star head-to-head player, did not pull through for Turkey in their last outing against Serbia. They won the 2v2, and then FMGG fell in the 1v1 play, and again in King of the Hill. So the big question is, can FMGG show up today for Turkey and put down this very dangerous Italian squad? An Italian squad made up of all 7K players. I believe every single player on that team is a 7K player, or at least close to all of them are. Some of them even, if you look at Mostema, nearly 8K, 79.97. So everyone on Italy can ball. They showed that against the UK. They showed that against the British, coming back from a 2-1 loss in the 2v2 set, with Ace brilliantly playing a sweep over Buffmac, and then the way they played in King of the Hill was brilliant. So Italy showing their form right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 2v2 lineups for today. Turkey is coming back out with Yunus and Aslan, and Mostema and Pasti out again for the Italians. So both sides going with their same 2v2 duos from last time. Both 2v2 duos had an okay showing out there. Of course, Yunus and Aslan got the 2-1 victory, whereas Mostema and Pasti lost 1-2, and then opened up the door for Ace to come out and put on a show, which he most certainly did. So we'll jump into this 2v2 and see if Italy can bounce back from that 2v2 loss and give Ace a little more breathing room, not require their young star to do as much this time around, or will Turkey jump out to the lead early on and give FMGG the cushion we didn't think he needed? FMGG, a very talented head-to-head player, got second at the World Cyber Games, coming in as the runner-up to Juicy J. So here we are taking a look. Italy top of your screen, Turkey at the bottom. Minor out early for the Italians. No big surprises. As we've said a few times before, curious to see what happens with the minor as we get closer to the end of the month and that potential nerf coming. Ram Rider down for the Turkish. And Ram Rider does not connect. You know, despite Ram Rider's reputation of connecting quite a lot here at NTWorlds, the Ram Rider has had a lot of difficulty reaching tower consistently, whether it's in 2v2 or head-to-head play. So taking a look at our Turkish side here, this 2v2 duo, Yunus, personal best of 76-71, best finish 115th on ladder, and a part of that CCS EU Championship squad with LA Gaming, making his third appearance representing Turkey after getting fourth in the World Royale League second and fourth seasons. He was picked up for CCS off of the EU qualifier. Had a very good showing there, obviously, with the team taking the EU Championship. His teammate, Aslan, 76-17 personal best with a 118th best finish on ladder, and also making his third appearance representing Turkey in international play. Left-hand tower going down pretty significantly. Minor to the outside, trying to play some defense. Does not stop the barb hit, but does pick up the Royal Ghost. Minor wall breakers opposite direction. And Mega Knight comes down and stops that push before it can really get anything done. And now Pekka behind the Mega Knight for the Turkish side. That Inferno Dragon going to be easily taken care of by the Ewiz Bandit, trying to pick up the Ewiz, and it does. But does not cross the bridge, and that mini Pekka will easily take care of the Bandit. So Ewiz able to stay alive a little bit longer, but the Inferno Dragon does survive. Rocket comes down, takes out the Lumberjack, and gets that left-hand tower down to 838 suddenly. This is a very, very close matchup. The Italians roaring back into the lead. Mega Knight and Bomb Tower on the left-hand side to defend against this Ram Rider Mega Knight push. Musketeer, outside of the poison range, takes the Mega Knight down before it can leap. And again, trying to get that Bomb Tower out of the way and make enough room for that Ram Rider. This Ram Rider should connect, and it does. Rocket in, fireball opposite direction, and the Turkish get it done with the rocket in the air. That's about as close as it can get. 337 on that left-hand tower. So the Turkish side, you saw, able to out-cycle that Bomb Tower and Mega Knight, and in the end take a really, really aggressive push to finish off that tower before the spells can start flying in for the Italians. Beautiful, beautiful play. You saw the Lumberjack come down. You saw nothing big, just, hey, we see an opportunity, we have a Ram Rider in cycle, let's go ahead and get after this one, because I don't believe they can get back around in time to stop this one. Great awareness from the Turkish side. Yunus and Aslan taking game number 1 for Turkey, and Italy in the same spot they were in last time, down 1 in 2v2. We'll see if they can try to even things up and send us to a third and final game. The Italians didn't need 2v2 last time out, but of course you can't bet on winning that 1v1 set every single time. On to our stats provided by Stats Royale. And as you can see, double Ram Rider, took 4 of them, able to get the job done and take down that left-hand tower. And you can see it was really just a minor control deck for the Italians. You know, able to create some counter push pressure, obviously, but they were really trying to go minor control and with some spell cycle. And not quite able to get it done with the rockets. There was one early on rocket taking down a lumberjack, getting damage on tower, and you got to wonder that 2 elixir, if that was 2 elixir spent too aggressively on offense. You know, the cascading effect of cards and elixir expenditure in this game can build and build and build. So what might seem like an insignificant play early on can become highly significant later on, depending on the situation. So we will see what the Italians have in store for us in game number 2. Mostema and Pasti needing to get back in the win column. Mostema, as I said before, 79.97 personal best. Of course, interestingly enough, because of the era he's playing in and pushing ladder in, while his opponents on the Turkish side have lower personal bests, they have higher best finishes, both finishing near almost into the top 100, the 100 teens. Whereas Mostema, even though he's almost an 8K player, best finish at 520th. So a little bit of a shift there between the numbers versus Italy and Turkey. Goblin cages on both sides. Lumberjack easily picks up the opening miner from Turkey. Goblin Cage seems to be in a good place right now, has its use in the meta. Of course, Bomb Tower is quite dominant, but slowing down the Goblin Brawler was a big, big change for this card, and no longer quite as dominant as it was before that speed reduction. First minute away, Turkey ahead, undamaged on their towers, 21-26 on the top left tower of the Italians. Pekka in the back for Italy, Magic Archer in the back for Turkey. Mostema, also a Clash Contender Series player with Wham Esports, coming in 5th in the European region. Miner on the right-hand side, poisoned down, and Pekka walks all the way across, will take out the Magic Archer, but will not do much more than that. Bandit picked up by the Lumberjack. Mega Minion in support for the Italians. Pasti did not play in CCS, but currently is in the Orange Crown League, playing with Zero Zone. So everyone on the board right now does have some pretty significant competitive experience. Maybe Aslan is the least competitively experienced player out of these 4. Magic Archer meets Magic Archer. Here we go. Double elixir time reminder. The bands on your right-hand side of the screen. Giant Skeleton and Lava Hound. And the Italians choose to go Pekka in the back on the right-hand lane, away from their weak side tower, into the tower where they've done damage so far. And Musketeer and Ewiz, so starting to load up here are the Italians. But that poison's going to do a lot of damage in the back end. Musketeer and Ewiz both go down. Very, very well put together defense from the Turkish side. Come out of all that with very little damage on that right-hand tower. And now they load up left-hand side. And a nice little cheeky miner. Will it be enough? And it is. Beautiful little cheeky miner there from the Turkish side to get that wall breaker connection onto the left-hand tower, and they take back the lead. And now it's Turkey's turn to start putting some pressure on. Playing defense for a while, choosing not to do that anymore. 1309 left-hand side. And notice that on the left-hand side, Turkey requiring 4 against 3. Bandit met by the Lumberjack. So every time now that we're starting to see Italy try to go into the right-hand lane, Turkey's starting to put pressure in that left-hand side. .45, minute 30 left. And now again, should see a Ram Rider here. There we go. Will the Mega Knight get the... It does, gets the cage off in time. That Ram Rider might get a connection here. And with the lightning in, the Ram Rider taking that right-hand tower down to 769. Miner does not get picked up by the Dark Prince. Dark Prince turns the wrong direction. Wall breakers connect the Goblin Cage a little bit too late. So now, Turkey has Italy on the ropes. In spell cycle range. And the poison gets it done. Turkey taking the 2-0 sweep over the Italians and taking the advantage into the 1v1 set. Italy in a lot of trouble now. FMGG going to come out most likely in 1v1 for Turkey. He is very talented. We did just see what Ace can do with the big-time win over the British side, over Buff Mac, one of the best in the world. So be very curious to see how FMGG and most likely Ace measure up in that head-to-head play. But Turkey, really, really beautiful gameplay on that right-hand side, the defense with that massive push midway through the game. And Turkey did a great job dealing with it, mitigating the damage, separating the supporting troops from the Ram Rider, getting the Ram Rider down, and taking that Mega Knight off the board before it could get all the way through. And you saw later what the Italian side was trying to do, where they had the Magic Archer and Mega Knight take care of that Goblin Cage, make enough room for the Ram Rider to sneak through. So you saw them do it successfully later in the game, but earlier in the game, Turkey able to stop that and then start putting pressure on the left-hand lane. Now, all began, they were playing defense, they were starting to get a little bit behind, and it began with countering that next right-hand push with just a bandit, forcing 4 Elixir into that left-hand lane, and then it became more and more and more pressure. And a little cheeky miner, we saw to sneak a wall breaker through, and Turkey able to get back in control, put the pressure on, and keep it on until they take the game from the Italians. So 2-0 sweep in the 2v2 set for Yunus and Aslan, not even playing the rocket for Yunus, not needing it, not using it whatsoever. And notice that we didn't see much in the way of Tornado. You know, you had the Lava Hound ban and Giant Skeleton ban, but didn't really see Tornado. So you gotta wonder if what the reasoning is behind that. If people are preparing to play with a Tornado ban and they practice a deck a whole bunch to go, oh, well, Tornado's banned, okay, not banned, but let's still play our deck that's prepared with a Tornado ban. Of course, there's definitely some danger there. This deck that the Turkish played, not really dependent on having Tornado banned off the board. Obviously, you saw that they didn't give a ban to it, so very well played for the Turkish side. The Italians now need to regroup and come out strong in the 1v1 set. But same story as last time. Italy dropped the 2v2. We know they can play very well in the head-to-head play. So curious to see if I'm right with the heroes that will come out in the 1v1. Will it be FMGG and Ace? I don't know how you bench Ace after the performance he had last time. Currently an 80% head-to-head win rate overall in this tournament. FMGG currently at 50%, losing the 1v1 1-2 and then going 2-1 in King of the Hill before getting stopped by that Serbian side. And it was the great play of Tocilovac to secure things for Serbia against Turkey. So we'll see how FMGG fares today. 50% win rate versus the 80% win rate, most likely, if those are the two coming out. But yeah, I think you gotta give the hot hand, let Ace continue to run, and of course you can't bench FMGG. He's your head-to-head star, the most decorated player on your squad. Got to send him out as well. So we'll have that information in a couple of minutes. And if you haven't yet, while we're all here, go ahead on this YouTube page, hit subscribe to the No Tilt GG YouTube page right below you. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so that you get all of your updates and never miss a moment of No Tilt Worlds action. Let's take a look at our rosters and look at that. Called it, FMGG versus Ace for this 1v1 set. FMGG, as I said before, the World Cyber Games number 2, number 1 in the Clash Contender Series EU qualifier. Ace has played in La Copa, CTP, PGL, and was the first quarter Red Bull MEO Italian champion. While Ace is a 7K player, personal best 70-43. The guy across from FMGG, 8K, 80-22 personal best with a best finish of 15th in the world on ladder. Minor wall breakers for the Italian, and it's going to be Icebo for FMGG. I don't think we've seen much in the way of Expo yet so far in this tournament. We saw the Greeks play it to poor result. An overly aggressive Expo play by the Greek squad against Azelis, who slapped it aside. So very curious to see what a higher level player does with Expo in this tournament. So Icebo versus Wall Breakers. Fascinating matchup. Bats split in the back for Ace. And cycling the log is FMGG. Maybe feeling like he can take care of the Wall Breakers well enough with the Ice Wizard. The Skeletons obviously can take Wall Breakers down on their own. And that Tornado gonna certainly make, and then of course the Tesla as well, that Tornado gonna make Ace a little bit more hesitant about the placement of those miners. And second X-Bow down for the Turkish player. Ice Wizard to defend. Miner goes behind the X-Bow. Nice placement. FMGG may be going for a bit of a King Tower activation there. Doesn't quite get it, but does at least keep the X-Bow live long enough for the first solid lock. And now with that, FMGG takes the lead back from Ace, 1346, top right-hand tower. Third X-Bow down. Wall breakers right into the X-Bow. And look at that tornado. Just enough to keep the bats off and dead and get a little bit more work out of that X-Bow. FMGG ahead by 1 elixir. Ace gonna have a lot of trouble in this one. And this looks like FMGG is gonna settle up, maybe rocket cycling out of the stage. It's a solid miner, and that X-Bow placed a little bit close. The wall breakers do not splash onto the tower. Good placement by FMGG. Second X-Bow down at the same time. But the back one dies. Did take those wall breaker shots. Not going to survive for that support. Tesla placed to the inside, taking care of the Magic Archer and helping with those bats. And that's going to be a lock one more time. FMGG playing this Ice Bow perfectly, playing this matchup perfectly. Ace knows it's all over. Rocket into the air. FMGG, easy peasy Ice Bow play. Good matchup, played it brilliantly. Not much Ace could do there. FMGG locking things down with the Ice Bow. Didn't even have to go into Rocket Cycle. Set up for Rocket Cycle later on. Defensive X-Bow, got the second X-Bow down, but really easily got those locks. And you saw some of the X-Bow play he did, not worried about trying to get big locks every single time. It wasn't about getting one giant, big, healthy X-Bow on. You saw a couple times just adding 2 elixir, 3 elixir being used to extend the life of that X-Bow to get just 5, 6, 7, 8 hits, right? There was the one with the bats, where he used the tornado to pull the bats off, kill the bats. Got a few extra shots out of that X-Bow, a few extra tick, 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 tack, 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 to quote my Spanish counterparts, Koji and Manu, over if you're flipping between streams, if you're doing the English and Spanish stream for some reason. Just get a couple more locks on there, a little bit extra damage from that X-Bow, and there you go, FMGG taking it down with Ice Bow. So if you don't like X-Bow, you didn't like that. But if you like X-Bow, you liked that one a lot. X-Bow, definitely one of the more controversial win conditions in the game. You either love it or you hate it. And people who hate it really, really hate it. Right now, Ace cannot be happy with what he just faced. But FMGG making a good call, and with how popular Minor Wall Breakers is, knowing that he could play that and play a good matchup and control the board very, very well. Nice work for FMGG. Let's take a look at the overall stats. 5 X-Bows down in a very short time period. So playing this one very aggressively, very early. And you see Ace's bomb tower just kind of useless in this situation. You can play it high, you guess. But in the end, he was trying to get it done with the miner as best as he could. But you see also not a lot of great tanking options. The Valkyrie being the best tanking option, and then the X-Bow being protected very well, even with some of those wall breaker connections. The X-Bow still getting damage on tower. So good deck choice for FMGG. Solidly played, knew the matchup, played it correctly, got it done. And suddenly, Turkey, 1 win away from a straight 4-game sweep over the Italians. This would be a nasty turn of fate for Italy. They were in a great position, coming out beating the Brits. This is the game, really, they're supposed to win, the game against Turkey. I mean, they'll have to go, if they lose this, they have to go beat Serbia, who also is looking pretty good right now. There are no easy outs. I mean, there are almost no easy outs in this tournament, but especially in this group, there are certainly no easy outs, and we've seen that so far. So game number 1 in the books. FMGG locking it down. Has to feel happy getting back in the winner's circle after that rough outing in the last match against Serbia. So the question is, can he hold off Ace? And now Ace has a lot of thinking to do. Ace got outmatched. Just the matchup there was brutal. He got caught really, really badly in that first game. So now he has to think about what's he going to go with in game number 2. Do you expect Ice Bow again out of FMGG? Let's go ahead and take a look at our game number 2, and they'll get that overlay fixed in a second. We are not in 2v2. We are in 1v1. And there we go. Things switched back up. And FMGG clearly not going with Ice Bow this time around. Inferno Dragon, right-hand side into the mini P.E.K.K.A. And a solid a set of minions there to distract, forcing the Knight out from the Turkish player. So back to minor wall breakers again for Ace, a different variant, but the same basic principle. Grandpa Ivy, if you're a member of the Clash Royale Twitter community, cracked today that he can train anybody to be a top tier analyst for CRL. And it's just tell your players that their opponents are going to run minor wall breakers. And that was his entire advice, is to be an analyst. And at this point, it seems like you might earn your keep if that's the advice you give your players. Wall breakers, right-hand lane for Ace. E-Wiz stops them immediately. FMGG with quite a bit on the board. E-Wiz right-hand lane, Inferno Dragon left-hand lane. Ace taking a moment to think about it. And look at that beautiful kite from Ace. That is a perfect Inferno Dragon kite. The placement, the timing, the Inferno Dragon did not burn that miner for a second. The helmeted one goes coast to coast and gets a few shots on that right-hand tower. That is perfect mechanics by the Italian. Beautiful micro. Graveyard left-hand lane. Poison does come out. Minions taken off the board. Just the mini P.E.K.K.A. in the back trying to clean that up. Does a decent job though. Wall breakers should connect left-hand lane. No, E-Wiz stops one of them. The second one does connect. Mini P.E.K.K.A. takes the E-Wiz off the board. Healthy Inferno Dragon going the opposite direction. Final 38 seconds of regulation play. Inferno Dragon gets a couple ticks, but nothing serious. Here we go. Mega Knight with Musketeer behind, left-hand lane. This is where the fight's taking place right now. Will Ace try to spread him thin and go into that right-hand lane, or will he continue to play the game that FMGG wants to play over here on the left-hand side? Now, FM could also switch lanes. Graveyard's known for doing that. Defense holds strong for the Turkish player. Ace tries to throw those skeletons behind, maybe trying to predict a potential miner. And now Ace goes right-hand lane. Miner to the safe spot, to the number one spot, despite there being no tornado in the game. Maybe just trying to keep FMGG on his toes. We're in sudden death overtime. FMGG just a bit ahead. Inferno Dragon healthy, left-hand lane. Counter push coming from Ace on the right-hand side. Miner does connect. Mini P.E.K.K.A. runs into the Knight, so Knight E-Wiz now to the right-hand lane. 1178 right-hand side for FMGG. 1402 for Ace on the left. Who's going to dictate where this game takes place? Miner way to the back, stopping those archers and the Inferno Dragon. Smart Miner by the Italian player. Mega Knight does get to the tower. 764. Ace now doing a good job of keeping FMGG on his toes. Healthy Inferno Dragon, two completely healthy archers. Graveyard and Poison down. Wall breakers trying to pick up some of those skeletons, and they do, so well defended by Ace, but now FMGG able to pressure in both lanes. And here comes the onslaught. Final minute in triple elixir time. FMGG cycling back to graveyards and poisons very, very quickly. And that's quite a bit of damage. Forces the zap out, and suddenly FMGG has a big elixir lead. A lot on the board here. Miner goes to the inside back corner and gets on for Ace. Graveyard for FMGG. Ace gets that tower down under 600 HP, under 400 HP. Graveyard Poison, top of your screen on the right-hand side, final 10 seconds. This has got to be it for FMGG in this game. Miner goes back this side one more time to the inside front corner. Knight does not predict it correctly. Ace, with a beautiful bit of gameplay to get this win, takes the tiebreaker in style. Italy, finally in the winners column today, finally on the scoreboard. Beautifully played by the Italian. Not a lot of excellent defensive capability when it comes to that graveyard. You know, had to kind of cobble together that graveyard defense. but did it brilliantly, and more importantly, kept the pressure on. And we saw early the flashy play from Ace, the perfect, the beautiful, the well-timed kite. You saw him leak a little bit of elixir to kite that Inferno Dragon to the opposite lane, into that right-hand side, and that miner went all the way from coast to coast and got a lot of damage there, and might have been part of why he was able to take the lead on that right-hand side and eventually drop that right-hand tower. And we've seen a few times in this tournament, players leak a little bit of elixir to make good choices. You saw, if you watched the game between, I believe it was China and Taiwan, maybe it was China and Taiwan, I think. It was Elsiop playing, here, let's go take a look at our stat. It was Elsiop playing against a Goblin. No, it was Elsiop versus Igor. So it was China versus Russia. Elsiop holding on to his giant just a little bit long, leaking 3 elixir here, 3 elixir there to make sure the timing of the giant against the Sparky was perfect at the bridge. So a little bit of sacrificing some elixir to make the correct play. And you saw that work out very well for Elsiop. You saw that work out very well here for Ace with that beautiful kite. And look at our stats provided by Stats Royale. In the end, you saw FMGG just trying to get those graveyards down. Cycle, cycle, cycle. He was getting around very, very quickly. But Ace was up to the task, played very, very good defense. And you saw the smart heads-up play, the wall breakers on defense to pick up a bunch of that aggro from the skeletons, make enough room, just enough wiggle room for him to sneak on by and hold on to the lead. So despite not having a ton of excellent answers to a graveyard poison deck with his skeletons and minions both being poisonable, still able to play brilliant defense, keep the pressure on, and get the win. Quick cycle work out of the Italian squad, and now we are tied 1-1 in this second set. Italy with a chance to extend us to King of the Hill. FMGG with another chance to close things out for Turkey in 2 sets. And you know that would be a big blow to his confidence if he cannot get this one done. Of course, it would be a big blow to Turkey. Their second loss in the group would most likely keep them out of contention. I believe it would keep them completely out of contention for the playoffs. So far, mirrored on both sides. Ace and FMGG, most likely minor wall breakers on both sides, and first similar starting hands at least. Wall breakers down for FMGG, splitting lanes. A smart thing to do, especially early on, force your opponent to spend in both lanes if they want to defend. You're almost always, unless they overspend, you're probably going to get a connection on at least one of those 2 sides. Firecracker down for Ace. So this might just be a control deck out of Ace as opposed to a wall breaker deck. Yeah, Ace, it looks like Ace is just playing, I could be wrong, but it looks like Ace is just playing a minor control deck rather than a minor wall breakers deck. Mega Knight down for FMGG. And minor to the Musketeer and minions to protect the Musketeer. Protect your Musketeer is always a great rule of thumb. Firecracker and Mini P.E.K.K.A. take care of that push. That was a lot to deal with. Ace did it beautifully. FMGG did a good job trying to help that Musketeer out, but not able to break through. Here we go, minor wall breakers to this left-hand lane, and the Goblins distracted by the minor, unable to stop those wall breakers. Connection left-hand side, now FMGG with a pretty significant lead. 15-59 left-hand side for the Italians. Here we go, final 60 seconds of regulation play. FMGG sets up Mega Knight in the back, Mini P.E.K.K.A. to respond in that left-hand lane, Firecracker behind. Mega Knight, Mini P.E.K.K.A. together can be so frustrating. You think he might have a good way to kite that Mega Knight or deal with the Mega Knight, but then the Mini P.E.K.K.A. comes out and supports. And FMGG putting on a lot of pressure right now. 2 Firecrackers and a Mini P.E.K.K.A. down. Ace in a lot of trouble here. Very far behind for a minor control deck or a minor cycle deck. And look at the minor going to the Firecracker and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. picking up the minor. Beautiful play, beautiful attempt by FMGG, and a great prediction by Ace to pick that one up and preserve the Firecracker. These 2 guys putting on a show here in Game 3. this would be one of those games, one of those sets where even if Ace loses, he certainly has shown his level, and this time, Mini P.E.K.K.A does not pick up the minor. And those wall breakers both connect. 556. Ace in a lot of trouble. Italy looking like they're going to lose this one. And that leap does connect. Oh, everything going wrong for the Italians. And minor to the front rather than the back. That's going to be it. FMGG gets it done in 3. 2-set sweep for the Turkish. Italy beats the UK but falls to Turkey. This tournament is wild. Anyone can beat anyone on any day. GG, well played to Turkey. FMGG, you guys gotta give a raise to your analysts. Some excellent matchups. Ace showing his level even in defeat. Some brilliant plays, some smart plays. FMGG, though, comes out on top and gets the victory for Turkey, which is going to throw this entire region into complete chaos. Italy beats the UK. Italy beats the UK. Then Turkey beats Italy. Then Serbia beats Turkey. The UK beats Serbia. What's happening right now? This region is absolutely bananas. It is completely bananas. And it all started with Italy taking down the UK. So it's going to be all the way down to the wire here in this group. And Turkey just made things very, very, very complicated. Let's look at the stats provided by Stats Royale. And you can see it was Balloon. It was Balloon. So minor loon for Ace. Not able to get that balloon out. I thought it might have been Balloon for a half second, but you know, Curse of the Caster, you're like, the second I say balloon, a poison would have come out. The second I said poison, a balloon would have come out. So it is minor balloon. Ace unable to get the balloon in play. FMGG getting 2 wins. The 2-1 victory and taking care of business. And over to the chat here. Mike Woolsey says, hey Rich. Hey Mike Woolsey, how you doing? I'm not going to read a lot of chat today, but figured I would go ahead and say hello to some of you. Yep, that's the only one. Mike Woolsey. Hey, Mike Woolsey, how you doing? So there you have it. Turkey taking care of business, getting the win and throwing this group into absolute complete chaos. But that's why we like the World Royale League. It has been nuts so far. You know, you feel like sometimes CRL at that level, every once in a while you kind of feel like some of the matches are predictable. You know who's going to beat who on any given day, but for some reason here in World Royale League, it has been completely unpredictable. You never know who's going to beat anybody in this tournament. Now, there's some question of, did some of the CRL pros take their foot off the gas in the off-season, and some of these non-CRL players have been pressuring high? Part of why Italy's been so dangerous is so many of their players currently in the Orange Crown League. They've been really preparing, playing at a high level, getting ready for this thing. But then, of course, you see Turkey coming out now, and a lot of these Turkish players playing in CCS, so staying at a pretty decent level during the off-season. Of course, CCS ended a while back. It's hard to kind of dictate and determine why anyone is beating anyone on any given day, but most of these matches, even the ones you think you kind of have on lock, end up being wildly unpredictable. So this has been a fun tournament. It's a World Cup tournament. Anybody can beat anybody on any day, and shockers happen left and right, and they've happened so far. This isn't a big upset, Turkey and Italy. Italy is definitely seeded higher than Turkey, but it's not like Turkey came out of nowhere. They do have very talented players. But after Italy taking down the UK, you really felt like Italy should have been able to walk their way into the round of 16. Not going to happen. There are no easy outs. Well, there might be one, but I'm not going to say who. There's one easy out in this entire tournament. Other than that, this thing is very, very difficult, and Turkey just showing why. So hopefully you're enjoying this international Clash Royale action. This is the first of our 4 matches for the day. And we have coming up next, we'll be back with that one in a little bit. We have Spain taking on Greece later. And then, of course, the Netherlands and Germany will both be making appearances. Finland and Portugal as well, not to mention Greece. Yeah, I think I said Spain versus Greece. So it's going to be a full slate of matches today. Going back over to the chat for a second. Let's take a look and see if there's anything interesting in the chat from you guys. Hello, I made a fingerstyle. Hold on, I gotta read this. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Did it get removed? Oh, someone removed that one. Hold on, I want to see if that one's. I think that one of the moderators removed that one. Someone talking about a fingerstyle guitar cover in the chat. All right, cool. Here's your result for the day. Turkey taking Italy out 2-0. Getting it done. and they will be moving on to the top of our standings for the moment. And look at that. This is the crazy Group D. It is evenly matched all the way around through to everyone at 1-1. So it's all going to come down to the final week. 2 teams will win and move themselves forward, and 2 teams will lose and fall behind. And that's going to be that's going to be the whole enchilada. So Turkey already played Italy and Serbia. So it's Turkey versus the UK. They have the toughest matchup for the end. Italy and Serbia. You know, until today, you'd think Italy had that locked down, but Serbia certainly capable of taking that win off of Italy. So we really have no idea how this ends. No idea whatsoever, and that's why I love this. That's why I'm so excited. Final week is going to be absolutely wild, and I'll be here for some of it. Of course, my friend Andrew Guy will be here for some of it, and hopefully you'll be here for all of it. If you haven't yet, of course, go ahead and hit subscribe on the No Tilt YouTube page down below. Don't forget to ring that bell for your notifications. And of course, I'm going to say hi in the chat real quick. Hi in the chat real quick. And if you feel so inclined, go ahead and give me a subscribe on my YouTube channel, where I have somewhat weekly esports news updates about the entire Clash Royale esports scene. Have my Inside the Play series, where we dive deep into some of the best matches in CRL and Clash Royale history, and have very soon some other No Tilt content coming to you from my YouTube page. So if you like me at all, or even if you don't like me, I don't care either way, go ahead, hit subscribe on my YouTube channel, and check out what I got going over there, youtube.com/Rich Slayton, if you didn't see me in the chat over there. And of course, you can follow me at Rich Slayton, the Twitter account that's on the screen right now, for a lot of Clash Royale stuff and occasional musings and other things like mixed martial arts and comedy. So feel free to jump on ahead. Well, we've got 3 more remaining. Turkey, again, has made this group absolutely insane. And today we also, again, just to get you guys up to speed on what else we have coming up next, it's going to be the Netherlands facing off. Oh no, coming up next is going to be Spain going up against Greece. Spain trying to get back into the winners column after the shocking loss in their opening match that no one saw coming, but Spain needs to regroup now. Germany will go up against Finland, and finally the Netherlands against Portugal. We will see you back here in about 15 minutes for our next match. And we are back for match number 2 of the day. The consensus #1 seed of the tournament, Spain, looking to rebound after the loss to Romania, going up against a Greek squad that got absolutely run through by France. Can they shock the world? This is No Till GG. Oh, not back to me, staying right here, taking a look at our schedule for the day. We just saw Turkey 2-0 Italy, throwing Group D into absolute chaos. And here we are in Group G. Spain and Greece both currently winless overall in their group, so both teams looking for their first. Kind of crazy to say that about this unbelievably stacked Spanish roster. Taking a look at the overall group standings, as you can see, France has run away with it, pretty much has guaranteed their spot all the way through. Of course, if Spain can win 2 in a row and so does Romania win their last one, that could change everything. And it all starts right here, Spain versus Greece. The Spanish squad, again, a shocking upset by Romania. Fla coming out and putting on a clinic against this Spanish side that people expected would maybe not even lose a match the entire way through the tournament. And it's the same roster one more time. Bale, Ruben, Michifu, and Canario. So Spain, despite having one of the winningest 2v2 players in the entire game in Faye, not in the lineup for 2v2 after they lost their 2v2 in their last match. For Greece, Stoic, Zeus, Boss Mister, and Ermond. Grizzy benched this time out, and I'm not surprised why. That was the player with the name that was a bunch of lines. And given the way he played and some of the choices he made in his match against Azelius, including a ridiculously early Expo and then activating King Tower when he decided he couldn't win the game anymore. Not surprised that that player has been benched for this game, so Greece coming out with what they hope will be a sharper roster for this matchup. As I said before, Spain, a lot of questions right now. Jose VTS taking some heat even before the tournament began for not having Javi Catorze initially on the roster. Of course, he could be subbed in later, although the question is, will it matter if you lose 2 matches in the group stage? It doesn't matter if you have Javi Catorze on the bench. Not having him in the roster was one big critique. And then on the other side, some interesting choices in the last match out. Canario, one of the greatest players in King of the Hill and all of CRL, benched for CRL in favor of the other 3 players, Bale, Michifu, and Ruben, who are talented, but how do you put Canario on the bench? The Giant Slayer riding Pine for the King of the Hill set. And then, of course, having Faye, one of the, I think, 6 or 7 winningest players in 2v2 throughout all of CRL, not active and not mixed in for the 2v2 set. They lose the 2v2 set with their with the lineup they ran last time. I believe it might have been Canario and Michifu. No, it was Canario and Ruben as their 2v2. And here we go, a different 2v2 look today for Spain. Bale and Ruben as the 2v2 set. So it will either be Canario or Michifu as their 1v1 player. And for the Greek side, a new 2v2 duo as well. Last time out, it was Ermond and Zeus. This time, Zeus getting Stoic as his partner for the opening set. So we'll see if Spain can right the ship here. Jose VTS, the coach, under a lot of pressure right now to get themselves through this group stage. They already gave away the one win you can give away. They cannot give away another. Although the difference in experience here between the Greek team and the Spanish team is massive. Every single player on the Spanish side highly rated as a competitive player. Bale, would be a starter on pretty much any other team in the entire tournament, and is starting here on the Spanish side because of what he's done in Game Mystery and Cabrera and Moreno, and of course in CCS. Not to mention what he's doing right now in the Orange Crown League. The Greek side, some of the players have broken 7K, but you have a lot of players who are sub 7K players on there and almost no competitive experience from this Greek team. So it's going to be Graveyard for the Spanish side and Greece going Lava Hand. Greece really loading up for this bridge battle. Both sides very low on elixir. Double battle healers with a poison to support. And now a battle that could take about 75 years. Battle healer versus battle healer. Has anyone run that and see what happens when you just put 2 battle healers away from Princess Towers and see how long it takes them to die? Because I think it might go forever if there's no Princess Tower. Or pretty darn close to forever. So here we go. First minute and a half away. Greece is ahead on HP, and they're going lava and golem together. Very interesting. Very, and they drop both at the same time. Could this be a clone deck if they're running lava, Night Witch, and golem? Could Greece be going for some serious cheese here in this 2v2 set? Mega Knight. Fisherman pulls that away. Golem goes for the Inferno Tower, Lava Hound going to the Princess Tower. Defensive poison cleans up the lava pups very easily. Night Witch goes down, and pressure Lumberjack into the left-hand lane from the Greeks. And they have come out ahead on elixir. Look, the Greek side is pulling no punches. They are certainly coming out swinging. And again, aggressive. Lava Hound at the bridge. A little indecision there maybe from the Greeks. Another poison takes the Inferno, the Electro is off the board. Right-hand tower down to 1463. But now it's time for Spain to counterpush. 2 baby dragons. Fully healthy Mega Knight at the bridge. Dark Prince charging from behind. Night Witch down as well. 2 battle healers for the Greek side. Graveyard down. Do they have a poison in cycle? Yes, the Greeks do. So the poison does get down, but still a lot of healthy troops out here for Spain. Battle healers abound, and there you go. Greece weathers the storm and now loads up opposite direction. Here we are, sudden death overtime. Greece still ahead. That Musketeer sticking in the poison, so she will go off the board. Lava Hound getting that right-hand tower down to almost 1,000 HP. Big counter push, though, coming from the Spaniards. Mega Knight leads to the battle healer, supported by a battle healer of their own. Dark Prince as well. Greece would want to poison off here, but is reticent to use that poison, knowing the graveyard's coming, and a freeze comes in as well. And there you go, Mega Knight, battle healer. Baby Dragon belching, graveyard all over the tower. And a Mega Minion saves the day for Greece, but do they have enough elixir to do anything right now? Graveyard comes down again. I do not know if Greece has a poison. They do not. Lumberjack plays in defense, Dark Goblin in the back. Greece getting in spell cycle range. Spain throws the poison, throws the log. Greece trying to put any pressure on they can, the opposite direction. Poison down to their own. Snowball in for Spain, and Spain does it. Greece get aggressive, get wild, play a golem Lava Hound deck. Unable to pull off the win, but definitely made things exciting there. Spain locks it down, gets aggressive with the graveyards, creates some nasty counter pushes, and takes care of business as they are meant to do. But Greece certainly didn't make it easy for them. They made it an exciting game. A couple maybe hyper-aggressive plays there that a more experienced competitive team might not have made. But, and you know, Golem Lava Hound together is interesting in 2v2. Haven't seen much of that before. But there you have it. Spain taking game number 1 in this 2v2 set. Greece was fun to watch. Tell you that much, Greece was fun to watch. Spain getting it done, though. Bale and Ruben taking the first game of 2v2. And a little breathing room now for Spain. You know, a loss there would have been one of those panic moments, right? You lose the first game of 2v2 after losing your last match to the Romanians, and suddenly the entire Spanish season could have looked in doubt. And already a little bit challenging. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. Stoic and Zeus, top of your screen for the Greek side. Bale and Ruben, bottom of your screen for the Spanish team. The bands here are interesting. Tornado is a very common band, obviously. Hog Rider is an interesting band. Maybe it's just that the Greek side didn't want to play against the Lumberjack, Giant Skeleton, Hog Rider deck. But oh, so they want to play Giant Skeleton too. I was wondering, why don't you just go ahead and ban Giant Skeleton in that case? I just had to ban Hog Rider specifically. So Giant Skeleton directly into a P.E.K.K.A. Musketeer opposite lane with a little pressure minor from the Spanish team. P.E.K.K.A. takes a big shot. Mega Minion not in range of Princess Tower, so P.E.K.K.A. will do nothing right-hand side for the Spanish side. Remember, no Tornado. The Giant Skeleton's still valuable, as you'll see it will pop off there on the E-Wiz and the Prince, but with that Tornado, even more valuable. Now it's Graveyard for the Greeks, taking a page out of their opponent's book. Immediate defensive poison to clean up those troops. But Baby Dragon survives long enough to get a bunch of belches, and Spain's just going to have to eat that damage on the left-hand side. Tower down to 1501. Greece again with the lead. Both sides taking their time, letting a little elixir build back up. Just a nice little cycle ice spirit there for the Greeks. Spain takes that one on the chin. Giant Skeleton Nightwish, left-hand lane for Greece. P.E.K.K.A. Musketeer behind for Spain. Ruben has played a little bit of 2v2, his fair share in CRL, going 8-4 in games, 3-2 in sets in his debut CRL West Fall season. Of course, Ruben best known for his head-to-head play, 71% win rate in CRL West Fall season between King of the Hill and 1v1. Snowball comes in, makes enough room, and just like that, the Prince ties things up, does not take the lead. We are all even left-hand lane, but on the right-hand side, Spain sneaks through and does take control of the scoreboard, and now Spain able to pressure right-hand lane. Wall breakers minor, and those wall breakers will connect 364. That's spell cycle range. That's going to be GG. Well played. Spain takes the 2v2. Greece a couple times in a row, making it look close, and take a look at that. Fireball, Snowball. Spain taking no chances there, and maybe putting a little punctuation note on that one, saying, hey, we might have had a rough outing in the first match, but we are Spain. There's a reason why everyone had us set to be #1 overall in this this entire tournament, and we are here to make sure everyone knows it. Ruben and Bale doing a good job in the 2v2, getting it done with a 2-0 sweep. And now Greece has to send someone out to face, my guess is going to be Canario. It could be Michifu, absolutely could be Michifu, and maybe it will be. Michifu has been their go-to guy for 1v1, and there's a lot of 1v1, of course, in CRL. Canario doing a lot less 1v1. He's been a 2v2 player, and then King of the Hill specialist, obviously, for CRL. So either one of those, Michifu or Canario, is going to be an insane matchup for the Greeks to try to contend with. Now, it is a best of 3. Anyone can get a good matchup. Anyone can beat anyone in 3 games. It's totally possible. But I would not want to be either of the 2 Greek players having to come out right now with their backs to the wall against a fired up, talented Spanish side. So riding the ship, it looks like, for Spain, 2v2 in the books, 2-0. You still have to ask the question, why, when you do have such a stacked roster and so many players who can play in King of the Hill, why is Faye not mixed in with the 2v2? Such an amazingly good 2v2 player who really kind of carried Fnatic with his 2v2 play. Of course, was great when he was Canario's teammate at G2 back in CRL EU, but Faye, one of the best overall 2v2 players in the game. Just going to go ahead and give you a little stats on that one. Faye's lifetime 2v2 win rate, 70%, 44 and 19 in 2v2 games, 20 and 7 in 2v2 sets. So when you say, Rich, why are you asking so much about why Faye's not in 2v2? Those numbers right there are why I'm asking about it. Now, you know, the guy who was in 2v2 now got pulled out of it for today, Canario, 63% lifetime win rate over 54 games in 2v2. So 2 top-tier 2v2 players. You look at what we have right here. Ruben, solid player, but a lot less experience in 2v2 overall. And Bale has played some 2v2, I believe, in CCS, but either way, it worked out. Bale and Ruben taking down the 2v2 2-0, and now we move into the 1v1. And with the lineup they have, you know, it's going to be either Airmond or Stoic coming out. Oh no, it's going to be either Airmond or Zeus. No, not Zeus. Bossmister, I think, coming out for. And it's going to be Airmond versus Michifu. Here we go. Airmond versus Michifu. Canario going to hang out and play King of the Hill if necessary, but right now Airmond, who is a 7K player, is going to go up against Michifu, who has a personal best of 8,067, and of course three global global tournament number 2s. Gamestry came in 8th. Bren Chongkuk came in 2nd. CRL experience with Pain, and overall an amazing head-to-head player. Did not have the same level of success at CRL in the fall that was expected. Went 1-3 in sets, 4-6 in games, and had a head-to-head win rate of 56%. But of course, that is against the best in the world. Against regular human beings, Michifu is absolutely amazing, and of course, he's still an excellent player in 1v1 in head-to-head play. Currently, doing a great job in the Orange Crown League with Cream. I believe he's over there with Cream at the moment. And rumor has it that he will be with Cream in this fall season for CRL. So we'll see if that shakes out. We're taking a moment here. Don't know why the game has not started. Maybe a connection issue of some sort. There we go. Let's jump into game number 1. Airmon at the top of your screen, Michifu at the bottom. And Michi opening up with those split wall breakers. And the split bats take care of business. And it's Mortar for Airmon. So, and look at that Magic Archer immediately. Gets some value on the mortar, gets shots on the tower, takes away 500 HP, and the mortar easily kited. Mini Peck up top to take care of the Musketeer. Mortar will go off. Skeletons don't pick up the Miner, but do take care of business. So Mortar, Miner for Airmond, Miner Wall Breakers for Michifu. And Airmond's going to have to be very careful with that Magic Archer, as we already saw. If Michifu can respond with the Magic Archer and protect the Magic Archer well against that mortar, might we see Airmon drop a mortar and then prediction snowball to move the Magic Archer at some point? That's a possibility. But of course, the kiting ability for Michifu, primarily with that Ice Golem, but also you can see, notice where he just put the skeletons right now. Skeletons in front of King Tower rather than behind when he splits to potentially pick up a mortar at some point. So this time, Magic Archer low, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A comes in front of the Magic Archer to protect the Magic Archer. And look at that lineup. Perfect placement, perfect timing for Michifu. Nothing about that could have been better than it was. This mortar does not get a shot, Musketeer taken care of by the skeletons. So far, Michifu has put on a clinic about how to play this deck against mortar. Absolutely perfect. Here we go. End of single elixir heading into double, and just a minor bats push for Michifu, or for Airmond. Miner does get on tower, but Miner wall breakers opposite direction. Musketeer turns towards the Miner, and oh my gosh, 4 elixir spent, wall breakers still connect. Disaster for the Greek player. Michifu completely in control at this stage. And the Mini P.E.K.K.A hits. And a good game comes out from Airmond. Literally, it was like he was playing tennis against a wall. Every single shot he took bounced right back at him. No way to get anything done here. Michifu showing why he's one of the best. Definitely playing with some fire right now after that loss to Romania. Not going to give Greece even a glimmer of hope. This Spanish side making a statement right now saying, we are the best. We had a stumble, but we are going to continue to be the best. Game number 1 goes to Michifu. Airmon has to go back and regroup after a complete shellacking in that opening stanza. Michifu, wow, I mean, that's, you can't get much better gameplay than that. You really cannot. Absolutely gorgeous. And that's why he's an 8K player. That's why he's a personal best of 8067, 8067. He's just that good. He's just that good. That was beautiful play and everything. Just, it's the little things, right? On that right-hand side with the second mortar, playing the Magic Archer down and then getting the Mini P.E.K.K.A just enough ahead to not only pick up the mortar connection, but also line everything up perfectly so that magic archer could get piercing damage through onto the mortar and those troops, right? Very little things like that. And then you saw Airmon just a little bit behind on the right-hand side, spending the goblins and the snowball to stop those wall breakers and unable to get it done. And at that point, there was no coming back from that. That was absolutely over. You know, if maybe the snowball had hit and the wall breakers hadn't connected, that could have been a different story. If maybe the goblins had been played a little bit higher and dealt with the wall breakers before they were so close to the tower, could have been a little bit different. But instead, what we have is Spain now 1 win away from righting the ship and getting back on track in this no-tilt world contest. And as you can see, it didn't take much. You almost forget about the one-shot mini P.E.K.K.A. going and hitting that tower one more time, putting the nail in the coffin. Airmon goes Mortar Miner and not able to pull one out. So Greece has had some exciting moments, but so far this tournament has been rough for them from top to bottom, and now one game away from being eliminated from playoff contention. Airmon has to win 2 in a row against Michifu to even keep those hopes alive, and there are not many players who I would bet on in this situation. Spain has to be excited overall, both the players and also the spectators and fans for Spain as well all need to be really, really excited for what's happening right now. So here we go, game number 2 of 1v1. And Bandit picks up the miner easily. Log cycle to the right-hand side. And pretty quick cycle here for Michifu so far. Probably looks like it's gonna be miner rocket cycle. Miner to the back for Michifu. And looking like it might be, most likely be, Elixir Golem for Airmon. You know, you find yourself in this much trouble, why not go with a deck that many people say might be the easiest deck to play in the game right now? It could also be Graveyard, but Bandit makes it feel more like Elixir Golem. Bandit played... Oh, does get the mini P.E.K.K.A. off without being killed, and look at that rocket value. Look at that rocket value. 11 for 6. The rocket just cleans everything up. Michifu looked at that and went, hey, thank you for the gift. I'll take it. Michifu ahead by 1 elixir. Miner to the outside back corner. Nightwish tries to predict to the inside corner, does not get it picked up. Might we see the first Elixir Golem push coming here? Or is this Graveyard? This could be the Graveyard Nightwish guy. Miner does get picked up by the Bandit. E-Wiz as well. Baby Dragon gets 1 belt on the right-hand side. Lightning comes in, so definitely, or look, probably not going to be Graveyard when you see a Lightning. So it could be Elixir Golem, could be Classic Golem. It's feeling like E-Golem, although usually you feel like you would have seen one earlier on by this point. Miner to the back, picked up by the Bandit. Battle Healer Nightwitch crossing the bridge. That Battle Healer healing the heck out of that Nightwitch. And there you go, a good Lightning from Airmon. Suddenly, the Greek player in the lead. One-shot Bandit trying to get across the board, can't get it done. Airmon might have been better hovering that E-Wiz rather than trying to predict what the E-Wiz. Almost gives up the lead, 1260 left-hand side. And Michifu takes a Bandit dash. The Ice Golem not getting down in time, a little surprising there. The Spanish player now in a little bit of trouble. Firecracker behind. Mini P.E.K.K.A. Log almost makes enough room for Mini P.E.K.K.A. to connect. It does not, and now King Tower activation. And it's Ram Rider. Ram Rider comes down for Airmon. Finally, at this late stage in the game. unable to connect. Lightning down to 595, unable to pick up that minor. Remember, you are against minor rocket cycle, so at this point, giving up that kind of damage, really, really dangerous. Michifu now can close this thing out very, very easily. Picks up the Bandit Dash with the Skeletons. Rocket comes in, and that's going to be it. Log's going to come down, and Michifu will take the 2-0 sweep. Armand made it exciting, but unable to pull the trigger early enough. And Michifu closes out this match. A clean 4-0 sweep for Spain. And that's the kind of performance that they really needed. Spain needed to come out and do that against Greece. Greece, one of the least experienced lineups overall in the tournament, and Spain came out and just said, hey, let's lock things down, batten down the hatches, and get it done against this team the way that we should. And that was just a perfect performance all the way around. Michifu, that did have one little mistake there, not able to pick up the Bandit Dash on the right-hand side. It opened the door a bit for Armand, but in the end, especially with the way he played the first game against Mortar Minor, beautiful gameplay from Michifu. The 2v2 locked down from Bale and Ruben, and Spain now gets back in the winner's column. Let's take a look at the stats from that match, from that game, courtesy of Stats Royale. And the Lightning did make things interesting, did make things certainly very interesting in this matchup, but in the end, not able to get enough down, not able to get on tower enough times. And once you get into that low health range against this rocket cycle deck, this minor rocket cycle deck, which we'll see if it stands the test of the minor nerf, but it has been very, very popular. It was very popular back in January, and we've seen it a few times here in the NTWorlds, used to decent success. So Michifu comes out, plays well, and of course there was that huge rocket value where Armand lined up a Battle Healer, a Baby Dragon, and a Night Witch, I believe it was. It might have been a Battle Healer, a Baby Dragon, and a Bandit. Just lined up a pile of options on the right-hand side. Whatever it was 2 4 elixir troops and a 3 elixir troop. 11 elixir into a rocket. Nice positive trade for Michifu, able to stay way ahead on elixir and get things done. And Spain now gets their first win of NTWorlds. A very important win, because as we'll look at the group later, Spain still has one more big match, a deciding match for Spain to determine whether they move on into the bracket rounds or not. So a lot of scrutiny on the Spanish side, a lot of pressure. They are the first of the team to take an L and then get themselves back in the win column. Still going to see what Mexico does when they come up again. Going to see what... Oh, no, the British also got back in the win column. Team USA dropped their first match, so we'll have to see what Team USA can do when they come back out. But Spain getting things done. Taking a look at your result today. 2-0 sweep. Spain over Greece. If you're a betting man, you probably put money on this one. Spain covering the spread, as they might say. And we still haven't seen a couple of the active roster players. Uri and Faye, both from formerly of Fnatic, have not yet appeared for Spain in this tournament. Looking at the current group standings, France clearly and firmly on top. So Romania has to play Greece. Now, this is interesting. If Spain is able to get one more win and Romania gets one more win, suddenly things get very, very complicated. But France, because of having the tiebreaker, having beaten Spain and Romania, I believe they are guaranteed through. So France, I believe, has clinched... No, France played Greece. So interestingly, France has not played Romania yet. So if Romania can beat France, suddenly things get very, very complicated. Of course, Spain still has to play France as well. Wow, this tournament is absolutely insane. I thought for a second France had things all the way locked down, but they've beaten Romania and... They beat Romania and Greece. So France-Spain is the last matchup in Group G for those two teams. A little confusing here and there, but we'll get the math done for you, and we'll find out, because it's all going to happen live here on the No Tilt YouTube page. If you haven't yet, go ahead down below, hit subscribe to this channel so you can follow all the action. We are, of course, here on this channel in both Spanish and English. If you speak other languages, German is with Big Spin, Ashtax is doing French. We have a lot of languages supported here for NTWorlds, so if you go to NoTiltGG on Twitter, you can find every single time the full offering of streaming options for this tournament. We'll be back in a little bit with our third match of the day, Germany taking on Finland.